Hi everyone, and welcome to day 5 of Vlogmas. I am here with some wrapping paper, the girls' presents, not just girls anymore, it's River too. I'm still getting used to that. So the kids' presents and some tape and scissors, and I'm gonna wrap these presents, but I'm also going to answer some questions that have come up over the last year and 9 months since we've been on this crazy YouTube journey. So if you're curious to know more about me and our family and need some inspiration to get some presents wrapped, then this is the video for you.
My friends and family, making angels in the sanctuary. Doesn't matter, it's Christmas in my heart.
All right, so the first question is, what did you go to college for? And in case you didn't know, I went to college in from 2004 to 2008, and I got a bachelor's degree in sociology with a minor in law. And as I was going through, especially when I first started college, I really had kind of like laser focus on being a lawyer when I was done, when all was said and done. But I took one political science class and changed my mind real quick. It was the most boring class I had ever taken, and it just didn't seem right for me. So I decided to switch paths, and I took a sociology class that I fell in love with, and that became my major. It's one of those degrees that some people like to make fun of because what real world application does that have? And I don't think I was even really thinking of that at that point, but for me it was great because it was a way that brought me out of my shell. It taught me to think of lots of different scenarios and kind of put yourself in other people's shoes, so to speak, and be able to understand like why people think the way they do and where they might be coming from. So I feel like that's really helped me in life in general, and also in my businesses and photography and tutoring, just being able to kind of get on people's level and be more understanding, because we all go through stuff, and I think it's too easy to just blame people and not be sympathetic to what they're going through and judge and all of the stuff that we tend to do as humans. So my degree has definitely helped in that aspect, helped me be a lot more open-minded. All right, the next question is your photography business a part-time thing? And this was actually a recent question from a subscriber, a new subscriber. So I wanted to make sure and answer it in a little more detail than I can in a comment. And yes, it is a very part-time. I got into photography in college. I was a nanny for a family, and their mom had a Nikon D40 digital camera and took great pictures of her kids, and it just kind of like sparked this passion. And so I ended up buying one myself shortly after that, and I fell in love with it. And actually that was in 2006-ish, and I still have the same camera and I still use that for my business. I probably could upgrade, but instead of upgrading my camera, I've decided to upgrade lenses and get really good at lighting and positioning and aperture and all of the crazy stuff that's probably foreign language to a lot of you, but get all really good at that stuff, and then also learn how to edit very, very well. And I haven't really needed to upgrade my camera because I know how to do all those things, so that has been really nice. But that's kind of how I started loving like taking pictures. I did do yearbook in high school, but it wasn't I wasn't super involved with that. But then my sister, she graduated high school the same year I graduated college, and I did her senior pictures for her, and that was like my first photo shoot. I have come a long way since then, for sure, but it's just kind of grown from there. I would do shoots for family and friends for free, just kind of to build up my skills. I took a lot of free courses, some of them through Shaw Academy, a company called Shaw Academy, where I just kind of learned all the stuff I just told you about. And I just kind of got to a point where I felt pretty good in what I was doing, so I just started a business from it. And I don't really advertise all that much except for my holiday mini sessions. Sometimes I do like a couple little like specials and stuff here and there, especially in the summer when I know a lot of seniors get their or incoming high school seniors get their pictures done. So I do that, but I don't really push it all that much. It's very much a hobby, but a hobby turned business, which has been kind of awesome for us. But I love it. I don't really ever see myself giving it up fully, but I also, especially because of YouTube and how much I've loved growing this community here and being a part of the whole YouTube world, I don't think I ever will turn it into a full-time business, the photography side of it. Just because I really do love YouTube, and if I had to pick one, I would pick YouTube over photography. All right, the next question is from that same subscriber, and it's, what are our dog's name and what is the story behind how we got them? If you see me looking over here, it's because I have the questions up on my computer. But we have 2 long-haired Chihuahuas, and their names are Ripley and Lexi. You probably have seen them around in like vlogs and stuff, but cleaning videos for sure. They love to kind of like sit in the background. Ripley is the black and white one, and Lexi is the tan one. I actually had both of them before Anthony and I ever met. I got Ripley when I was in college, when I got my first apartment. I was in a dorm the first year and a half, and I got an apartment with a roommate 2 years into college, so I wanted to get my own dog, which honestly might not have been the smartest thing to do. I was going to college and I was working, but I was a nanny, so I was able to bring him with me, and so it wasn't like he was stuck at home all the time just while I was at school. And obviously being in college, I'm not there like 8 hours a day. You can set your own schedule, and I always made sure that I wasn't on campus for like an entire day, because not only for him, but just because I want to be able to have time to study and work and all of those kinds of things. So I got him when he was 6 months old, and I actually got him off Craigslist. I knew that I wanted a long-haired Chihuahua because my boyfriend at the time, his parents had long-haired Chihuahuas, and I loved them. They were so cute. I wanted a dog that always would look like a puppy, and Ripley's 14 years old now, and he's still, I mean, he looks old, you can tell he's old, but he's still very puppyish just because that's the nature of the breed. And so I didn't like short-haired Chihuahuas, but I fell in love with long-haired Chihuahuas. So that's why I ended up getting one. But I looked on Craigslist, and I ended up paying $550 for him. I drove like 2 hours to meet this family to get him, and they had 2 other big dogs, and Ripley basically thinks he's a big dog, especially when he was a little younger with more energy, and he would want to play with them, and they're big dogs would kind of get too playful, and Ripley would get hurt, so they decided to rehome him, and that's how I got him. And then Lexi I got when I graduated college, and it was actually from my boyfriend at the time. Their parents' dogs had, his parents' dogs had a litter of puppies, and she was one of their puppies. So she's 2 years younger than Ripley, and I got her right out of college. All right, the next question is, what is one makeup item that you cannot live without? And this one is so hard. If I could pick 2, I'm golden, but one is tough. I'm gonna say the 2 just so you know why, and then I'll tell you which one if I had to choose one. The first one is foundation, and that's because my skin, especially my cheeks, are red, and my face is just really kind of uneven in tone, and so I just like to even it out. So that's definitely one that I wear pretty much every day. Like, the only time I don't wear foundation is when I know I'm not leaving the house, not expecting anyone over, it's just gonna be the 5 of us. That's the only time I don't put any on. For the second item, it's my eyebrow pencil, and that is because I am a victim of over tweezing. I was in high school starting in the year 2000, and that was kind of like the era, that whole 10-year period was like the era of thin eyebrows. That's like what was in, and I definitely did that, and I plucked my poor little eyebrows like crazy, and they never really grew back. So I mean, I have like a thin line of an eyebrow, but it's just barely noticeable, and even with brown hair it's barely noticeable. So I color in my eyebrows. Gotten pretty good at it because I've done it every day for I don't know how many years. So if I had to choose one, I would probably pick foundation. I feel like you can still see a little bit of eyebrow there, so it's not the end of the world if I don't have. I went many years without coloring them in, so if I had to do that, that would be my choice for sure. The next question is, how did you and Anthony meet? And I'm actually excited to answer this one because we are going to be doing a kind of love story Q&A later this month. Our anniversary is on December 18th, so we are gonna vlog what we do that day. But on the 18th, we're gonna have a video uploaded that will be a Q&A of our love story, basically. So short stories that we met online through MySpace, which some of you may not even know what that is, but it was basically the Facebook of 10, 11, 12 years ago. That's how we met, and I will go into more detail in that video. So if you're curious about how that all went down, then make sure you have your notification bell turned on, because that'll be a good one for sure. I always love doing videos with Anthony because it's always so much fun. We always end up laughing about something, and it's just a good time. All right, the next one is a pretty involved one, and I've done kind of a video on this before, so I will link that. But it's, do you find yourself losing patience with your kids, and how do you deal with that? And I'm actually really glad that I'm filming this tonight because this happened tonight. We had asked the girls, they've been watching Home Alone, the Home Alone movies. They've been loving those. And so they created these different like booby traps for when Anthony got home. They had like yarn tied up everywhere and all these different crazy things, which is awesome. I love their creativity. But when asked to clean it up, they kind of like dragged their feet and said they kept getting distracted, which getting distracted is their biggest kind of reason why they don't get things cleaned up when they're asked. So I got frustrated. I kind of lost my temper a little bit, and I didn't yell, but I very sternly said that they need to do that, and I might have used a curse word, and I am definitely not, I'm definitely ashamed of that. I definitely don't feel good about that. But Anthony came up, and when the girls kind of were preoccupied, he just kind of quietly said to me, I think you went overboard. And I totally knew I did. And I love the fact that him and I have kind of just that relationship where we can politely call each other out, never in front of the kids, but just kind of bring it to each other's attention, like that was a little bit inappropriate, because then I was immediately able to kind of bring myself down, bring the girls in, apologize to them for the way I talked to them, because we're all humans, we are not perfect, and it's important for them to see the behavior modeled where if you make a mistake that you own up to it and apologize for it if that's what should happen. And I think modeling that behavior is really, really important, and it will do them really good in life. So that's what we do, and that's kind of how we handle that situation. But yes, I lose patience with them. I'm a pretty patient person, but I definitely have my moments when I'm tired. It's definitely a lot harder for me to reel it in. I think a lot of people are like that. It's just something that I try to work on every day, but I let it slip here and there, of course. But the reality of the fact is that when I lose my patience, or Anthony loses his patience, it just kind of makes the situation worse, especially if they're already frustrated. They're up here at this level, and if we come up to their level, it's just chaos and it's just madness, and nobody has a good time when that happens. So we really try to kind of stay at the calm level, be patient, talk to them and say what we need to say. If there's a consequence that needs to happen, then we make that happen, but we stay down at this level so that we can bring them down if they're at that point. And if, like I said, if we do lose our patience and yell or say something we shouldn't, then we always own up to it and apologize to them for that behavior, so that they know that if that's the case when they're upset and they do something like that, that they should all also be held accountable and apologize. The next question is, how have the girls handled COVID and being at home a lot more? So obviously things changed, but we homeschooled already, so our daily routine really hasn't changed all that much. During like the initial like complete lockdown back in March, it was a little bit different. We kind of all got sick, and then Anthony was home for a little bit working from home, so it changed a lot in that respect. They obviously couldn't do their classes, their dance, music, swim, gymnastics, all of the classes that they had been going to outside of the house, so that definitely changed for them. But honestly, they have handled this whole thing like champs. I I'm so thankful because they get along so well. These girls are best friends, and 90 to 95% of the time are getting along. And I don't know what we did or if it was something that we did to make it that way, but I'm just so thankful because they seriously just love playing with each other. I'm not even kidding. When they like have their breakfast in the morning and they just like scurry off and play, and I have to like insert myself into situations to be able to like have time with them. So I'll be like, hey, let's play a board game, and sometimes they'll be like, yeah, okay, and sometimes they'll be like, we're having a lot of fun, can we do that later or something. So I love it because they entertain themselves, they play so well together, and they love it, and the bond that they have is so tight. And because of that, COVID honestly being here at home, it's kind of been a blessing. Like, we've had even more time together. We've been able to just kind of be here as a family more. They've had more time to just spend with each other. Having River back in June, it was kind of perfect timing because we needed to stay home anyways. And so honestly, the girls have handled it really well. Of course, they miss like being able to go to their activities. We're back on Zoom classes again as of right now, and they kind of miss that interaction with their friends and stuff, but they don't like, they're not depressed about it. Their behavior has not like tanked or anything like that, and they're honestly just doing really great. I have 3 more questions. The next one is, would you ever leave Washington State? And the answer to that, I don't like to say never for anything, but 99.9% sure that no, I would never want to leave Washington State. I was born and raised here in Washington. I love this state so much. It has a beach if you drive an hour one way. If it has mountains if you drive an hour the other way. There's all 4 seasons, and none of them are super extreme. So it's nice because you get it, like once you kind of start getting tired of one season, the next season's kind of rolling in. So that's really nice. I'm not a person who enjoys really extreme heat, and I absolutely cannot stand humidity. So another check in the box for Washington State, because we don't really have that most of the time. So I really love it here. Also, my family is here. I honestly, my sister and I kind of have a pact that we'll never move with like further than 30-minute drive away from each other. And then my dad, about 2 years ago, within the last 2 years, he used to live in my hometown, which is an hour from where we're at now, but he moved up to closer, like 20 minutes from where we were, and started working up here. So he's been around a lot more, and it's just not something I'm willing to sacrifice just to move to a different state. Obviously, if life situations force that, then that's what we would do. I would probably do everything in my power to bring those people with me for sure. But I love the state. I love the beauty that surrounds us, and I love being by family. Anthony's very well established in his job. There, I don't see any like need for him to leave that, and honestly, we love it. So I don't plan to ever leave. All right, the next question is, what is your ultimate goal for your YouTube channel? This is also a loaded question. I started this YouTube channel really, it was kind of an experimental thing. Like, I loved watching mom channels and family channels on YouTube, and I feel like I was like, I could probably be really good at that. I love photography and editing and stuff, and so kind of taking it to another level with doing videos would be fun. It would give me motivation to get things done, which has absolutely been the case. Like, I probably would not be wrapping presents right now if I didn't need to film a wrap and chat video, honestly. So it's like getting things done and checking things off my list, because I have an accountability to be able to do that, has been really good for me personally, just my mental health and our home and our family life and everything like that. I'm a very big research person, so before I even started, I did a bunch of research on like how to even start a YouTube channel, what you should do, ways to be successful, and things like that. And I knew right away, I heard so many different things that say like niche down, have a very specific channel, very specific purpose for your channel to be the most successful, and I never really wanted that. So I just kind of accepted that I'm gonna grow slower, and that's okay with me, because that's not my really ultimate goal anyways, to have like big numbers. It was to be able to document things that I wanted to document and inspire people along the way has really been the ultimate goal. So if my channel grows because I'm doing those things that I want to do anyways, then great. It's just like the cherry on top. But my ultimate goal for this channel is for, first of all, for us to have vlogs and kind of little clips here and there to be able to look back on as our family grows. And 2, to be able to inspire and motivate people to whatever they need to be inspired to do, whether it's I have a sink full of dishes and it's been there for 2 days and it's depressing me, and someone watches my video where I'm cleaning and it motivates them to get up and do that, and then it creates peace in their life for that day. That's a win in my book. If it's someone who's struggling with a baby and they come to my channel and see our routine, and that I also have struggles and these are the ways that I've kind of dealt with them, they implement that and it changes their life. Win. I do budgeting videos on here. We follow Dave Ramsey, and I do budgeting videos and show our real numbers and like how we do that process, so that we can hopefully inspire someone else to take that step as well, because it changed our lives and I know it can change other people's lives as well. So another check. That's a win for me. That's the ultimate goal of my channel, is to create a community of supportive, positive people who hopefully look to me for inspiration, for putting a smile on their face, and hopefully just be a friend that they can watch and chat with and grow together with. And then the last question for today is, what are you most looking forward to in 2021? I think all of us are looking forward to I don't know, optimistically hoping that things might start to get back to a little bit more of a non-restrictive time. Every state's different right now. I know our state currently, as of this filming, which is December 3rd, is still shut down for a lot of different things. Like, not everything is shut down. It's not a complete stay-at-home order, but a lot of businesses, like dining in at restaurants, is not allowed again. It was for a while and then it shut back down. So I'm optimistically hoping that things do kind of resemble some sort of what they did before. When it comes to our day-to-day lives, I think a lot of things in the world should not go back to the way they were. But whether that happens or not, what I'm most looking forward to, honestly, is just continuing in our day-to-day life. Like, it's nothing big, it's nothing crazy. I feel like people feel like they should have this big grandiose answer for this type of a question, and for us there's just really not. Like, for me, of course there are things like I look forward to going camping again, and River growing up and kind of going through all his milestones in the first year of his life, and the girls just developing, and Quinn is learning how to read really well and kind of seeing her grow in that. It's just like all of those little things that just encompass our everyday life. Honestly, that's what I most look forward to. And we're just the type of people who just go with the flow, take it how it is, and do what we can do to make the best of what we have, and not let outside circumstances, things we can't control, get us down. Of course, we talk about them and stuff like that, but we don't let them drastically affect us. So if restrictions are lifted and we're able to kind of go back to activities and things that we haven't been able to do, then that's going to be amazing. But if not, we're still going to enjoy being a family. We're still going to enjoy our day-to-day life and the little things that honestly a lot of people take for granted. I've been at that point many times where I've kind of taken them for granted, but right now we're just in a point of our life where we're just appreciating those things and just soaking them all in, because they go way too fast. It's so cliche to say, but it's totally true. I can't believe River's almost 6 months old already. It's just insane how fast it all goes. So I'm most excited for that, just kind of like the daily family life, going through those little moments that are so fleeting, and documenting them all here for you to see, or most of them, some of them at least, for everyone else to see and share in the joy with us as well. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for sticking through it. I hope you got the mystery game letters, because that's going to be a fun little giveaway at the end of this month if you collect all of those. But for now, remember to stay humble, be kind, and I will see you tomorrow.
Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about